Hi friends, welcome to a weekly reading and lifestyle vlog. It is MLK Jr. Day today, Monday. Oh, I should have known the date before I started saying it. It's MLK, it's MLK Day. It's about 11:30 a.m. Just me and my dog on the couch right now. My husband is over at a friend's house, so one of our closest friends is a coworker of his, and they're on a committee together, and so they are, to my chagrin, doing free work for the government right now. Because it's their day off and they're working right now. But anyway, they're friends. I'm sure they're actually having a good time, and it's for veterans. So I'm gonna try to not be bitter about free labor and lack of boundaries. Anyway, I'm trying to just get my groove back with reading, with BookTube and all that. And I want to read all the books. I want to read all the books. I'm so excited about all the books. And, I watch BookTube videos, I watch Instagram stuff, and I see people posting about, their favorite books and these genres and the best of 2025 and plans for 2026, all these things. I'm just psyched, and I'm just pumped about it. I want to read that too. And there's these, thinking about okay, what are the authors that I really want to dig into in 2026, or what's my reading goal? All of these things are in my mind. And then I just sit here and I scroll and I don't actually read. Right? Tell me I'm not the only one that happens to. But what I'm doing right now is I'm attempting to cobble together some sense out of a vlog footage from finishing this book right here, In a Quiet Town by Amber Garza, and a trip to Fort Bragg. And so the trip to Fort Bragg happened over the weekend, and I finished the book on Monday, and then that book club was that night as well. So a lot of footage that's, not going to be used because it's just nonsense at this point. And honestly, I had enough to make an hour-long video. I'm not going to do that to you. You're not going to watch it anyway, so why try? But then also, I want to do the video and get that up, but also it's ooh, I want to read, but what do I want to read? And I'm in the middle of 2 books, and then, but also shiny objects, and it's MLK Day. Should I be reading from an African-American author today? But then is it just lip service if I'm only doing it because it's MLK Day? I should be reading from Black authors all the time. But then, also, when I'm reading, I'm not do I want to read from a white author or a Black author? That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about what book do I want to read? There's so many thoughts that are going through my mind right now. And I was thinking about, is it there? Somewhere in this pile, actually, I pulled out Lot by Brian Washington, and who's an African-American author. I think queer as well. And I was but I'm already in the middle of 2 books, and that's a short story collection. I'm already reading a Stephen King short story collection. So how many books do I need on the go? And if I'm doing it just for MLK Day, so many thoughts. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with finishing this video. I get this video up, and then from there, I will decide what I want to read. I'll show you what I'm reading. So, In a Quiet, that's for the last vlog, the one I'm working on. Stephen King, You Like It Darker stories. This is a short story collection. I'm reading the first story right now, just into the first story right now, but I'd previously read the second story when I had checked this out as a library book. The second story is called The Fifth Step, which is related to the fifth step from AA. And it was really good. It was a really good story. And it's the shortest story in the collection because when I had that library book, I had a morning where I had enough time to finish a certain amount of pages, and oh, cool, this story fits in just perfectly. So I was able to get that one read, but then I ended up buying that book. And then here is Lab Girl by Hope Jahren, which I am approaching halfway. I'm approaching halfway through this. Loving this, just hearing about her life as a scientist, what it's like being a scientist, a female scientist, just the way that she thinks about things, and how just excited she gets about seeds and trees and soil. And right now she and her lab partner Bill, are setting up have set up a lab at Atlanta, Georgia University, and they're taking kids on field trips to go dig and look at soil, and yet somehow that's interesting. She's making it interesting, which is really cool. I love when you get to hear somebody like who's truly passionate and good at what they do, and then they can really just bring what seemingly uninteresting topic. They can make it seem really exciting and bring life to it. And then there is Lot right there by Brian Washington, which I don't know whether I'm going to read or not, but that's what I pulled out. So I think I'm going to do this, finish the video, and then I want to go outside actually and enjoy some sunshine. And we've done some work in the backyard, so it's looking pretty, not looking great, but it's looking decent. Like I want to enjoy some time out there. So Tuesday morning now, I definitely could have read more yesterday. I read probably about like 30 pages or so in You Like It Darker by Stephen King. I'm in story 1, which is called Two Bastards. I got to the titular line last night before I stopped. So there's these two best friends. So there's this one like old guy. He's like, I think he's 90, and he's a very, very successful author. And his best friend was this very successful artist, like a cartoonist. And did he get more? He might have gotten into more art, the beyond cartoons. That's definitely how it started. But anyhow, two very, very famous best friends that were best friends since they were kids. And so it's kind of like there was like this journalist who's trying to explore like what's the common denominator here? Like how is like what are the odds that these two boys that grew up together end up being this famous? And interestingly enough, we kind of found out a little bit, at least the the genre of the experience, maybe, about halfway through. So I got to that point last night when that part was kind of revealed. How that's going to translate, though, into how that actually had an impact in their skill sets, no idea. Don't know that part. There's about 25 pages left or so of that book, or of that story. And then I think I read about 140 pages, 140 pages in Lab Girl yesterday, which is still just going great. And it's, I tend to think of like, oh, you're a science person or you're a math person, which is funny because I'm actually really good at English. You're a science person or you're an English person, but I'm both. Yet I still find it, as long as it's not physics or chemistry, biological sciences, yes, or science. But I still do find it kind of like odd when I find someone who's really good at science who's also a good writer. And she just is. She just makes a field trip about soil composition really interesting. She can just come up with these beautiful lines. Like it's a library book, so I didn't underline anything. I wish I could go back and give you a better example. Maybe I'll try to pay attention and actually catch that for you on camera. But she's just talking about her life, living in the lab, building the lab that she and her partner Bill kind of like dreamed of. They get this grant, go across the country from Berkeley to Atlanta, and get to start their own lab. And she's really worried when she goes out there a couple months before him. She's really worried that when he gets there, he's going to be disappointed in just how much of a barren blank slate it is. And it's not like new and fancy and tech looking. It's just raw bones with like electrical hanging out of the, wires hanging out of the plugs. And instead he sees it for the potential, and they're on the same page, and they're just excited about the work they're going to be able to do in this space together, and then teaching as well. So yeah, it's just it's a good time. I wish I could speak more eloquently about it, but I can't. So what are we gonna do? in a little bit, like very soon. I'm gonna probably read for like 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna go over to my grandparents' house just to hang out and hopefully give my grandpa a chance to go do something other than just kind of babysit grandma all the time. She has dementia, and he just takes such good care of her. Especially, I mean, he always has, but like especially ever since she had a stroke in 2016 or 17 on Mother's Day. And as far as the stroke goes, it was she was mildly affected by the stroke itself. She was able to get TPA right away. She then had an allergic reaction to the TPA, which was like, it happens in like 4% of people. So it was scary, and it elongated kind of the acuteness of the situation. But all in all, she's doing quite well. She doesn't have if you were to look at her, you wouldn't like, oh, she had a stroke. But she has dementia. So I'm gonna go over there and hang out, and maybe at some point she'll just drop off to sleep, as she does. She tends to do. So I'll have my books with me. But yeah, hopefully my grandpa will be able to get out of the house, go run an errand, go do something on his own. And then when I get back, I gotta come back immediately, and I'm taking my mom. It's about a 45-minute maybe drive up to an appointment that she has where she literally gets drugged. She gets esketamine, so she can't drive herself to the appointment. So I will take her there. Unfortunately, my sister happens to work just like a couple exits further away. So she's on her way home so my sister can pick her up on the way home. So anyway, that's the plan for part 1 of the day. And then, yeah, I definitely need to clean the kitchen that I've ignored all weekend, and we've just just added to the mess, honestly. So that'll be the afternoon. And then hopefully, actually, I started a Karen Slaughter book like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, probably, but because I needed an audiobook, but then I needed to finish In a Quiet Town for my book club, which is a thriller, and Karen Slaughter is a thriller, and I don't like to have 2 types of the same book going at the same time, so I put a pause on the Karen Slaughter. So I will probably go back to that. I might need a little bit of a refresher as to even what's happening, because I couldn't tell you the story right now. I don't know. It's Karen Slaughter. It's wild. It's Saturday afternoon. Benji's working on the garage, and I'm just hanging out, all bundled up. Anyway, Hope Jahren, the lab girl, like, she just speaks so reverently, maybe, about trees. Like, just it's the beginning of a short little paragraph. Every now and then there's a chapter that's like just about trees, and it'll be really short, like 2 or 3 pages, and then it'll be a longer chapter, more memoir like, about like what's happening in their lives and the progress of like her work and stuff. But for trees that live in the snow, winter is a journey. Plants do not travel through space as we do. As a rule, they do not move from place to place. Instead, they travel through time, enduring one event after the other. And in this sense, winter is a particularly long trip. Trees follow the standard advice given for an extended travel within a rustic setting. Pack carefully. Remaining stationary and naked outside in the below-freezing weather for 3 months is a death sentence for almost every living thing on Earth, except for the many species of trees that have been doing it for hundreds of millions or more. Blah, blah, blah. But, like, the way that she puts it is just so, like, the reverence and awe that she has for the organism that is trees is just really fun to read. So this is a library book, but I need my own copy, because when I reread this book, I'm going to be underlining the crap out of it. It's just there's just so many good, like moments where you just want to underline, like, gosh, that was such a well put thought, or, like I'm saying, like, I can't even put the words together to be able to describe like how, like, her writing. It's this beautiful mix of like science and literature, right? Like science and like poetic, not poetic in a lyrical sense, poetic, and it's like truthful, like well put. I don't even know how to say it. I just kind of picked up my phone and started, and without having anything that I wanted to read you a passage, but I didn't pick a passage up before I started recording. Okay, I actually went back and found a spot that I remember thinking that I would have liked to have underlined. So Hope and Bill, who, by the way, just the other part of just like the magnificence of this book is just getting to witness this relationship, this friendship between Hope and her lab partner Bill, and they're best friends. What did she say? There was a line where she described him as like, something that had to do with a fraternal twin. Like, that's the level of like connection that they have. But so they are in Ireland. They're sampling things as they do. So they're scientists, and they end up. She discovers this thing about the way that the moss on the top of this hill is like holding on to the water, and it's not like draining down or whatever. So they're going to be comparing like the stuff at the top versus the top of the bottom. So here she is, kind of experiencing this discovery of what's happening here with the moss in the water. "You love this shit," I sneered to a clump of moss in front of me and stomped directly upon a little hillock like a petulant child, frustrated over something unrelated but unable to conceive why. The moss flexed downward unharmed, disappearing underneath a pool of clean, clear water, and then sprang back when I removed my foot, not even preserving the impression of my boot. I sighed. "You win, asshole." I conceded and felt depressed. I considered it, stomped on it again, only to achieve the same effect, and then kicked it, and did the same again. "Riverdance?" Bill had turned around and was watching me with blind interest. And then they're going to go on to figuring out that like this is like their experiment. This is going to be the question that they're asking of this trip in their research. So it's just this beautiful, like, there's humor. It's this combination of the life that they're sharing together, and then now with her. She's married and has had a child at this point just recently, and yet the science is always there and their friendship is always there. It's just like I need a copy of this book, and it will definitely be an evergreen, like, all-time favorite. I think like this is 5 stars. Like, this is going to be when I get a copy of this, and especially after I've underlined and annotated, like, this is going to be a prized possession in my library collection. It's an absolutely beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It's like 1:30. I think it's been so gray, dreary, foggy here in the Sacramento area. Just anytime we have sun and blue skies, I want to be outside in it. And it's actually also warm. Like, I think the high today is 59, so it feels quite comfortable. So I don't even need to be bundled up out here. Could eat an apple in a minute after I'm done talking to you. I just filmed a tag video, and I am about to finish Lab Girl. So that's what I'm out here to do. I think I have like 35 pages to go. I'm loving this so much. I just put it in order I found a new copy paperback at, it was Better World Books or Thrift Books, one of the two, for like $5 and change. So yeah, definitely getting my own copy of this because it deserves to be on shelves and annotated. I think that's all I have. I'll be with you in a moment. I finished, and it was just spectacular. I have 2 little sections to read, because a lot of this book is her relationship with Bill, and then also her relationship with science and being a female scientist. So people still puzzle over the 2 of us, Bill and me. Are we siblings, soulmates, comrades, novitiates, accomplices? We eat almost every meal together, our finances are mixed, and we tell each other everything. We travel together, work together, finish each other's sentences, and have risked our lives for each other. I'm happily married with a family, and Bill was an obvious precondition to all that, a brother whom I would never give up, part of the package. But people that I meet still seem to want a label for what is between us, just as with the potatoes. Context. I don't have an answer for that one. I do us because us is what I know how to do. And then, speaking of being a scientist, I'm good at science because I'm not good at listening. I've been told that I am intelligent, and I've been told that I am simple-minded. I've been told that I am trying to do too much, and I've been told that what I have done amounts to very little. I've been told that I can't do what I want to do because I'm a woman, and I've been told that I've only been allowed to do what I want because I'm a woman. I've been told that I can have an eternal life, and I've been told that I will burn myself out into an early death. I've been admonished for being too feminine, and I have been distrusted for being too masculine. I've been warned that I am far too sensitive, and I have been accused of being heartlessly callous. But I was told all of these things by people who can't understand the present or see the future any better than I can. Such recurrent pronouncements have forced me to accept that because I'm a female scientist, nobody knows what the hell I am. And it has given me the delicious freedom to make it up as I go along. I don't take advice from my colleagues, and I try not to give it. When I'm pressed, I resort to these two sentences. You shouldn't take your job too seriously, except for when you should. This was just fantastic. It is 5 stars. I can't wait to reread it and underline and annotate and go back to this book and get to experience quotes like I just read and many, many others. And I'm just so pleased to get to end this vlog with 5 stars. I wholeheartedly recommend. If you have not read Lab Girl by Hope Jahren, borrow it, pick it up, listen to it, whatever. Enjoy. Thank you for watching. Remember, every day is a great day for a great day, no matter what.